appreciate the NFL's swift and thorough review of last week's data exposure and the event that transpired due to it. We were proactive in addressing the situation internally and cooperated fully with the league throughout the process and accepted discipline level to Coach Jeff Ulbrich and the organization. What discipline? We are confident in our security policies and practice. We continue to emphasize adherence to them with our staff, whether on or off premises. Additionally, the Ulbrich family is working with the organization to participate in community service initiatives in relation to last week's matter. Sincerely, the Falcons. Signed, bullshit. I added that part.
The NFL has confirmed that the Falcons have been fined $250,000. Just for everybody out there that doesn't understand. DC Jeff Ulbrich, $100,000 for failing to prevent the whole situation from happening, basically, for y'all that don't know. So, what do y'all think about this? Too much? Not enough?
Just about right. Of course, I would have been down for more. More wouldn't have bothered me, particularly as an organization. I think, 100 on the coach, 150 on the coach, whatever it was, it's about right because, when you're in control of data and information, it's your responsibility, like the Falcon said, on or off premises to keep it safe and secure. And that also includes your own damn family. But I will call some BS on this community service stuff because I still want to get the other jokers that was in the room. The son was who got the information, but what about the guy filming and the guy making the call?
Mm-hmm.
Where they at?
Yeah. Anytime is a crime or I'm just using this analogy. Anytime there's a crime or something like that committed where it's multiple parties, everybody gonna be charged
with something.
With something.
They co-conspirators.
Co-conspirators.
I know Dude's got his dirty bird helmet back there and his pennant back there. He chomping at the bit. I know. Go ahead and put him on the screen by himself. I know, my man.
What you got to say, Dukes?
Man, that's two. We just talked about two daddies that need their ass whooped. This is the second one. And shout out to Ulbrich, man. But come on, big dog. I hope you have a great run in Atlanta. And we are not our children. But at the same time, man, your son got to be at least respect you enough to not go mess up $100,000 at your job. Really, $350. You know what I mean? So Ulbrich making 1.6. So that's roughly about 6% of his salary, if my math ain't wrong. Maybe 5, give or take.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, 5 or 6. So I mean, that ain't. They tapped his pockets, right? They didn't kill him. They tapped his pockets. I think that one, security measures have to be taken up to another level because now it's coming out that Abdul Carter was also prank called. Like I said, one of my mentees was prank called. Tyler Warren was prank called. That's the thing to do. So I think by making an example, they could have, if you have one guy that you can really hold accountable because of who his father is, and the NFL can hold one person accountable, because outside of that, you would probably have to go to legal action where somebody would, file a real legal case like prank call. I don't even know what it would be called. Mm-hmm. And then maybe somebody could file a civil suit. But right now, we got one person that we know we could text. And that's Jeff Ulbrich, because your son shouldn't have had the number. Sure. I think they could have made a bigger example out of him just to protect the rest of the players. Even for Shedeur shouldn't have had to go through that. But as we saw, he went through so much that weekend. This is probably the least of what he's thinking about. Because, they already took him to Town Square and made an example. So that's another story.
Yeah, I like that, Duke. And I saw where somebody commented and said the fine should go, to Shedeur. He should pick the community service. I like that too. But let me tell you what you touched on, Deuce, I really love that I hadn't considered. You gotta punish who you can punish. And the league and the Falcons can punish the defense coordinator. I'm not going to sit here and say that was a fireable offense and he should be fired. But I will say that the information was trusted to him, and he was the one who put the information in a position it could be obtained, whether deliberately, intentionally, or unintentionally, absence of mind, what have you. And so he's the one who should bear the brunt of this tax.
Yeah, for sure. And you got a chance to do it so people will want to stop doing it. But we're going to see it again next year. I mean, just to keep it a buck, man, if you go way back in the archives on my show, man, it was a linebacker by the name of Dontarius Thomas, came out of Auburn in 2004. man, my man, Mayo Sal, how you said, Mayo prank called him on draft day. We all sitting in Scarborough Square. DT waiting on the phone call, and Mayo called him. We found out it was Mayo. And it was a problem. Mayo a preacher in Atlanta now too. He changed his ways, and it's something that we talked about. He said he would never do again. But
I'm reading between them lines. Yeah, I'm reading between them lines.
But when you get somebody that you can spank for it, that they should really get spanked for it if you can. So, shout out to the Falcons for taking some, and the NFL for taking some accountability. I would think that the Falcons probably would have some internal discipline as well. And shoot, but now Shadour's in Cleveland. Let's just move on from it and continue route 2 on as he goes on his next journey.
Absolutely. Hey, this is the morning run. It is Wednesday morning, and like we like to say, it's morning somewhere. Deuce the Soup checking in from the ATL in the Eastern Time Zone. Your boy Neely right here in the SIP Central, and Chico out there in the middle of the Pacific from the Pineapple to the Big Apple. We got Coach Rashad going to be joining us for this episode, wide receivers coach. As y'all know, CU have more receivers taken in the draft, including undrafted free agents, than any other school. So we're going to discuss those guys and what he got in the pipeline for this fall as well. So make sure y'all liking and sharing and subscribing and sending that link out because you don't want to miss this conversation with them.
Well, come on, DK.
There's going to be some changes to come. One thing I can tell you, again, when I worked at an agency, people are questioning, like, as Dukes eloquently said, why did the DC have this list anyway, or have that number for a quarterback? The problem is it's a master list with everybody on it. And so what you're going to see some changes is who have access to it. Like if you ain't making the call, why you got the list. And let me tell you this, man. DC and OC and head coach are executives in the organization. Like a lot of people want to think owner, general manager that sit on draft day. Like, no, in that war room, there are chairs for the DC, the OC, and the head coach. And so they all have access to this information. But the information is not just, who you're thinking about drafting, what position. It's everybody's contact number that day. And so if there was a computer open, and again, I'm not trying to make this make sense or justify it. I'm just describing how what they said happened could happen. Make yourself 21 years old and you see an email open with everybody's phone number. Who name you going to go to? Who the biggest damn name on the list out of everybody? Shedeur Sanders. And then when you've been hearing all week long, your dad and everybody else talk about how, hey, man, the word is ain't nobody going to pick him. Who number you going to write down to mess with? Shedeur Sanders. Like it was a perfect storm of dumb shit and immaturity and lack of security. They got this done, but I bet it won't happen no more.
Man, let me tell you, I'm going to add on to this. My last job before I started working sports full time, I was general manager at a warehouse in Ellenwood, Georgia. Cool. I had some very pertinent information that I had access to. Can you imagine leaving financial records and hazardous waste material records and my son Cam getting it with his homeboys and calling the CEO of another company and telling them, hey, man, we about to do this business deal.
Let me cut you off, Deuce, to tell you why I can't imagine it. You don't whoop Cam ass before. Let me tell you why the DC son did do it. He ain't had his ass whooped before.
Nah, he knew he could do that to his dad.
They ain't raised like us, Dukes.
Yeah.
You don't. The one thing I know in my mama's house, you don't touch my mama shit.
You don't go in her purse. None of that.
Now, when she asks you to get her something out of her purse, you bring the whole purse.
There you go. Because you know what come behind that if you do something.
Thank you. You go see touch something you weren't supposed to see or touch, you go get your ass whooped.
Doctor.